Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for August 27, 2022, the Please Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood edition. And we begin with that story from the Times of Israel, as disgraced and now corruption convicted Israeli diamond magnate Benny Steinmetz is back in Switzerland to appeal his corruption guilty verdict. And his defense, he's misunderstood. He wasn't engaging in bribery and corruption when he got the diamond mine concession from the disgraced, now deceased President Conte. He was actually there to help develop the country of Equatorial Guinea. And the $10 million bribe paid to wife number 4, well, that never happened. She's just lying. So he was misunderstood, and unfortunately the trial court did not understand what he was going to do for Equatorial Guinea. So good luck with that appeal. Next up from Reuters, convicted felon, former President Luis da Silva, or Lula rather, has said that he will fight corruption if reelected to the presidency, and he says he wants to make a change from the corruption that his administration engaged in. So he said, quote, "I want to return to do things better this time." So interesting to see if Lula is reelected, which all indications are he will be, given the corrupt nature of the current Brazilian president, if he actually does fight the war. The Securities and Exchange Commission announced that it was reversing the former Jay Clayton policy of cutting back on whistleblower awards by not crediting other agencies and expanding the whistleblower program to the way it was prior to the Trump administration. You have to wonder who the constituency Jay Clayton was addressing in his attempts to cut back whistleblower awards, given their popularity with both the government regulators and the whistleblowing and employee community that this supports. Nevertheless, Clayton did all he could to cut back on whistleblower awards, and that's been reversed by the Gensler administration under the SEC. And finally, the merge is finally here, as Ethereum will become more energy efficient for those in the cryptocurrency world. The ecological cost of using Ethereum, and that may reduce up to 99%. So the merge. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.